Hello boys and girls, today TripTips is going to explain the duality of natural versus unnatural. I've got way too many people telling me they prefer or only do natural psychedelics, so let's break apart this myth once and for all. What does it mean for something to be natural? To come from nature, right? What about for something to be unnatural? To not come from nature? So you might say that trees are natural, houses are unnatural, my hand is natural, a bionic arm is unnatural. Weed is natural, but synthetic weed is unnatural. Mushrooms are natural, but LSD is unnatural. If you go deep enough, you'll quickly realize that the line that separates natural and unnatural is actually completely arbitrary and relative. Let's go over why and the implications of this. So, is a house natural? You might say no because, well, humans built it, but are humans not part of nature? I mean, we're animals as well. If a monkey uses tools, is that natural? What about if we make tools? Are they natural? If you gave me two different answers, then why are monkeys considered nature but humans are not? Did we used to be nature when we were monkeys? And at what exact moment did we stop being nature? Quickly you'll realize that humans are just as natural as anything else. I mean, you'd have to argue that humans didn't come from nature. And if you say that, then is evolution not nature? Are plants and animals not nature? So we've established that humans are nature. So therefore, anything humans create must also be nature. If we make crazy synthetic clothing, how is that any less natural than a tribe making one of those dick cover things? Because the materials are unnatural? Well, where did we get the materials? From outside of nature? What is outside of nature? Does that even exist? Or must everything that exists be natural by its very definition? Let's take LSD. Sure, it's synthetic, but it was also synthesized from rye. What is rye? Is rye not a part of nature? Does that make LSD natural? Some people might try to counter that and say, oh yeah, but Mother Earth gave us mushrooms. Well, did Mother Earth not also give us rye? And did Mother Earth also not give us humans? So you combine the two and somehow it's no longer a part of Mother Earth? What? Let's do a thought experiment to really get this point across. An alien visits Earth and brings us this crazy advanced piece of technology made from a type of matter we haven't even discovered yet. Is this technology natural? If you said no, then why? Is the universe itself not nature? That alien came from a planet and nature ran its course, and so the alien was able to create the technology. Are you saying that if we picked up a tree, which you consider nature, off the ground and flew it to a planet with life that didn't even grow trees, the tree would suddenly stop being nature? At what exact point does this happen, and who are you to decide that moment if someone disagrees? What's the objectively correct answer? I'm gonna tell you now, you ready? The answer is that politicians are actually reptilians. Oh wait, fuck, wrong script. Anyways, ponder this for a bit and you'll quickly realize that everything within reality is natural. For it to be unnatural, it must come from outside of reality. And if something comes from outside of reality, wouldn't reality just expand to include that thing? I mean, if there was things outside of reality, you couldn't really call reality reality. Now, does this mean that nothing is unnatural, or that the concept of unnatural is just false? The answer is yes and no. You can still call things unnatural when speaking relatively, but that doesn't suddenly mean that the same thing is also not simultaneously natural. It's both. This is a bit of a mindfuck, but things can be natural and unnatural at the same time. It just depends on how you look at it. Ultimately, natural and unnatural mean the same thing because nothing makes anything objectively natural or objectively unnatural other than your consciousness, which does so relatively through a perspective. If someone disagrees, who's right? Well, both of you are right in your own way. Okay, so everything is natural. However, when talking about psychedelics, there are other things to consider. Generally, natural psychedelics have been tested a lot more, so it's a lot less likely to be dangerous, but there are exceptions. Iboga, for example, is way more dangerous than LSD is. The truth is, very few psychedelics have been found to be dangerous at all, and even with weird substances few people know about, such as 2CE or 4-HOMET, there's more than enough information online to stay safe if you do your homework, which you should be doing. So if you're someone that used to say, I prefer natural psychedelics that comes from Mother Earth, try to name me a psychedelic that we know of that didn't come from Mother Earth. I hope this video helped clear up any confusion about natural versus unnatural psychedelics. Shrooms may feel more natural than LSD, but 2CE may feel more natural than shrooms. You're kind of creating lines where there are none. This doesn't mean go do every research chemical you can find. It means stop making assumptions about substances. They're all natural, be responsible, and have fun.